Welcome back. So I believe that you have ran the containers on your machine. You are able to verify those with Docker container list command. Next up is we'll just do a recap of what container is and what are the attributes. To little, a little more breadth to it, and then move on to how to actually push a image and pull it. So this picture is actually just to explain what container is and what attributes it can have if you want to play around with the container. So as explained, it has an entry point and CMD as a default argument, which triggers, which runs at the start of a container. It starts with an image. Just again, imagine exe, double click that, and it runs as a container. It has its own environment variable. You can give instructions through multiple channels, but definitely Docker file provides you a way to give this environment variables. It runs as a process. It has its own CPU and memory dedicated. So by default, if you don't provide anything around how much CPU or memory you want to allocate, Docker has defaults, but you can also change them through certain configurations. So you can extend or CPU or memory of that process, that container. It can have its own ports, just like you saw in your application, 4080, so that you can expose, open a port inside a container. So by default, everything will be, all the ports will be closed. You have to open them explicitly through expose instruction in your Docker file. Again, just like we explained, volume, the storage you can attach in case you want to have a dedicated logs or database files or static files hosted on host operating system, but still want containers to access, or you want multiple containers to access same set of logo files for a web page, or other log files, or other artifacts. So volume is used for that. These are some commands that you will definitely use in forthcoming assignment. So hang on for that. So now we move on to pushing an image. So just imagine you learn Git, and just like code, the Docker image is an artifact, and you need to push them so that people can use it, run it, and add on top of that. So just like code, Docker Engine allows to push, save, and share our images. Docker Hub is the default repository. It's a public repository. It's just like GitHub. You push code on GitHub, you push images on Docker Hub. There are common base available, just like open source project on GitHub. You would have freely available public images. Just to be very sure that when you download an image from Docker Hub, it is Docker certified. There are filters, you can use them on Docker Hub. So just be very sure that you are using public base images which are from certified sources, known sources. You can have private registry, just like we have, and I'm going to introduce just now. This was called Docker distribution, Docker registry earlier. Now it is called Docker distribution. So there are multiple tools which allow you to host private repository, but basic core of all of that comes from Docker. So Docker registry is the core, and people have built UI and permissions schemes on that to give you a different feel, and that's how multiple tools like Nexus, Portus are available. But Hashden uses Portus. Push all your images throughout HU, and many other projects also use Portus and you can visit that at portus.hashton.com. Docker Hub is default in all the command, just like you ran Docker push. If you simply run Docker push an image ID, it will push to Docker Hub. But you have to explicitly mention portus.hashton.com in the command to ensure that it gets pushed to our internal private repository. Just be very sure, because your code will be otherwise shared on a public repository Docker, which is not good in the security group. Now, a quick hands-on while you are going through this video. Open your browser and go to portus.hashton.com. This is just a prerequisite to ensure that you are able to access and use Portus. Go to portus.hashton.com. Log in using social login, which is your Hashton's Google account. When you when you log in first time, you already have your namespace created. Namespace is just your own private space, a home page for you where you can push your private repository, create your private repository, and push your images. Go to namespace and check that you have a namespace of your own name. Note that username, the namespace of the name, which is your Portus username. So you will need to log in from your console on Portus. So note that username. But when you land on namespace page, change the permissions of the namespace to a different permission scheme and allow all the logged in users to pull your images. I will just show you that in a bit. So here is namespace for me. This will have all repository which I have created. But what I want to do is when you go to this namespace, by default, this private link would be clicked. I want to change visibility of your and permission scheme of your namespace to the middle one, which is logged in users can pull image from this namespace. Change it. It should confirm a display. It should display a confirmation message here, and there you are set. Now you have to ensure that your terminal, your command line can talk to Portus. As I said, by default, if you don't give a domain name of the registry, it will take Docker Hub and push all the images there. But you don't want that. So what you're going to do is create a login from your terminal to Portus, and then start pushing. So I'll just show you how to do that. So here we are creating a application token, which will be used as your password. Since you're logged in through Google, you don't have a password, but you have a username. So Portus allows us to create a password from the UI. So you hit your username on the right top, then you see your profile. So here you can create an application token. Application token is simply your password. So you create application local dev token. Save it, and then on the right top you will have password. So this is just a password that you will be using. It is called token, but you will use it as a password. So I go to terminal, to a Docker login, to portus.hashton.com. It says I have already authenticated, but here you will be asked for username. Username will be your username what you saw on UI, and at the place of password, you enter the application token, which is this, which you already copied. So as soon as you have done that, you will see login succeeded command. Let me show you that once again. So .com. So I will actually log out. Now try again. So this is where my username would be, and this is my password. I pasted it, and it should show me login succeeded again. Yes. Now you can pull all your images on Portus. Remember, you have to tag each repository because you might be logged into multiple repository at a time based on number of projects you're working. So do make a point to set context and use Docker tag command to set a right repository. So that's all. You are all set to work with Portus and Docker. So now, till now, we have created an image, run that image, which was given on Docker official documentation. So you have containers. So your listed images, your listed containers. Now you also can push that to Portus using the credential that you just logged in with. Now next assignment is just again hands-on, which is push image to Portus. Remember, in previous videos we have seen Docker tag image ID. This command, whole command we have seen. And so use those commands and push your image to Portus. At the end, you should be able to verify that a repository has been created and the new version of image has been created. Just show you a quick example of that. So this Portus, you should be able to see, let's say, Nginx. This is the kind of repository you'll see in your namespace, and this tag is what you will see on based on what tag you have given while executing tag command, which is this command. Okay, so see you in 20 minutes. Complete this hands-on and we are all set.